Yo, what's up, man? Man, I want to jump on this topic right here, man. Ryan Garcia, he, why does he keep calling out Tank? He just keep having Tank name in his mouth like this. It's like it's getting kind of embarrassing, and it's starting. I don't know, man. I'm just starting to not even take anything he says serious because he had it all in front of him after the Luke Campbell fight. He fought on January 2nd, beginning of the year. He got knocked down in the second round, came back, faced adversity, and knocked out Luke Campbell in the seventh round with a nice body shot. And he was on top of the world and he was on the right track, right? And then that fight was for the belt Devin Haney got. And he became mandatory for Devin Haney. And then it's okay if you don't take that fight if you fight in Tank Davis. And he had it all lined up for him. This was like right after the fight. And they were supposed to be like fighting like around the time. Really, Barrios was supposed to be Ryan Garcia, to be honest. But Eller being Floyd, I guess they went to holler at De La Hoya, and De La Hoya didn't want to do nothing. And after Ryan Garcia's fight, De La Hoya and Canelo, they was basically saying he wasn't even ready for that fight anyway. I heard Canelo talk about he needed 2-3 more fights, and De La Hoya was just like, hell no, but great performance. So like the fight was nowhere near about to happen. And Tank, I think the promotional company even said that they was willing to give him the A side, even though he's nowhere near the A side in that equation. And then the fight just never happened, dog. And then Ryan Garcia, he was booked to fight Fortuna. He was booked to fight Linares, and then shit was never going through. And then he pulled out like a week before Fortuna fight. And then he had the anxiety. Then we had to respect that. But he had a fight booked the very next week, bro. You claimed anxiety, and then like 5 days later, he had a fight supposedly booked with Rolly. I mean, he another prospect like them, but he not on their level, you know what I'm saying? So he went to having like good 50-50 fights he had right in front of him that he should have had booked, like Tank, Linares. The exhibition with Pacquiao was never ever anywhere close. But he had some nice, like, good legacy fights. You know what I'm saying? He could have fought Devin Haney. Devin Haney walked into the ring after Ryan Garcia beat up Luke Campbell. And Ryan Garcia named like 4-5 fighters before Devin Haney. Usually when somebody comes into the ring, that's who you're supposed to fight next or should be about to fight. And he named like 4-5 people before Devin Haney. And then just all the options never fell through. And you still could have fought Devin Haney. Devin Haney fought who you were supposed to fight, Jorge Linares. And that was a beautiful fight. He got clipped from the 10th round and didn't have his legs for the rest of the fight. It was entertaining, but Devin Haney won rounds 1 through 9. So he just won the fight comfortably. But it's just crazy though, man. Ryan Garcia. And one thing about that shit, when he was calling out Tank and it looked like the fight was finna happen, he had got a Gatorade deal. And I don't know, it's not like Ryan can go fight somebody like like a Barrios type opponent and be a pay-per-view star. But he is a star though, you know what I'm saying? Like he a social media star, but he's not really like a boxing superstar like that. You know what I'm saying? He not really accomplished. He not getting championships and shit. And even if you're not getting championships, at least be fighting dudes like Tank and Devin. He did have the options, bro, because the promoters for Tank want to make it. Devin Haney, you the mandatory, and then you had all these eliminator bouts lined up with Linares, Fortuna, and all that, you know? Like he had the legacy fight in front of him and he had the money fight in front of him. And then he just kept just not getting it done or pulling out. And then now he comes back now and calls Tank out again. It's just confusing as hell. And Leonard Ellerby, he kind of contradicting himself because Ryan, he's with the Zone and Eddie Hearn and them, and Floyd them. Floyd himself, he said that they're gonna keep the fights in house, which means the PBC or whoever the hell they with, and that means no Devin Haney, no Shakur Stevensons, and them like that. I mean, they got Chris Colbert. Two fights that I think the best challenges for Tank is Colbert, who's at 130, which I don't even see Tank going back down to 130, and Gary Antoine Russell. I only seen one fight of him, but what I seen, man, he looked like he the goods, and he at 140. If Tank want to stay there, but I don't know. It looked like Tank might go down to 135 though. I just don't see the 130 anymore. And plus, that seemed like a little bit too weight draining. I don't really want to see Tank get weight drained. But Ryan Garcia, but they be ready to step outside of the PBs, out of the in-house. What they just said the other day, they're willing to go back on their word for Ryan Garcia, and this is just going to waste months of their time or whatever, and Tank could just be finding another opponent right now. That's all I'm saying. Like, stop holding up Tank like you want to fight. And I don't think he want to fight Tank for real, man. His promoters don't want to see him fight him. And I don't want to use that promoter's excuse for these fighters, man. The promoters work for you, dog. If you want that fight, they got to go get that shit for you. And De La Hoya, he lost Canelo. That was 90% of his revenue. And I don't see Ryan, he the biggest star at Golden Boy. Virgil's a better fighter than me, but Ryan, you can say the biggest star at Golden Boy. And why would De La Hoya risk his biggest star getting knocked the fuck out while his company is struggling? De La Hoya is fighting his damn self. He finna fight an MMA fighter. And you know, I grew up liking De La Hoya, so I'm gonna watch that shit. I bet he looked good too. But no, though, I just got to put a couple words on this. I don't think this fight happening, but if it did, I would love it, and that would be great for the sport. Ellerby said it's the biggest fight in the sport. I don't think it's that, but it's probably top 5 or 10 though. I would fuck with it heavy.